Using visuals. Yeah, definitely use visuals. Different studies give you different numbers, but here's one that I found fascinating. Most people will forget the majority of what they've learned in a month, let's say. I think the numbers are that you'll forget 90% of what you've learned in 1 month, and the 10% you're able to recall, 50% of that is incorrect. But another study showed that just by using visual, people are able to retain more information because, again, they have that visual map in their head, that visual image in their head that's kind of branded in there. And I think it's important to use visuals. So when you're in the sales process, I think you should use visuals not only to highlight or demonstrate something, but I think it breaks up the presentation. So if you're talking, showing a couple of slides, talking a little bit, showing a couple of slides, talking a little bit, by inserting a visual, it kind of, wiggles the mouse, I always say. You know how your computer goes to sleep and you got to wiggle the mouse to kind of bring it back to life? I think when you show visuals, you're kind of wiggling the mouse, in this case, wiggling the customer's brain. Says, hey, check this out, look at this, and it wakes them up. And so again, using visuals, I think, is very important when you're presenting. And I actually map out in my process, so if I got a 45-minute speech, I know when I'm going to use a visual. I have it timed to where I know after the first maybe 10 to 15 minutes, I'll use the visual. After the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'll use another visual, and so forth and so on. And so that's how I build my presentations. I always purposely use visuals. Now, a visual could be an object. It could be you going to, let's say, a whiteboard or a flip chart and just writing something out. It could also be just grabbing a sheet of paper and drawing something for the customer. So again, all these are visuals that we could use to wiggle the mouse when it comes to selling the customer. And again, I think it keeps the customer awake and engaged in the conversation rather, when you're actually showing them visuals, and especially when you're drawing in front of them. Kind of do one of those deals where, hey, here's how it works. Let me draw a line here. Here's how it connects to that. I think that's engagement, visual engagement, and I think you need that. And one study showed something very interesting, that in the retail market, sales increased 26% just by using visuals. So again, I think visuals have a way of just really connecting, bypassing the frontal cortex, the logical side, and somewhere back here is a place called the amygdala, the visual center, and I think it has more of an emotional impact when you show visuals. So do I believe in visuals? Absolutely. I think everybody should use them.